That was what we was into. You know what I mean? Street consciousness. Niggas wearing do-rags and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Getting on stage, we had a certain algorithm in the way that we moved and whatnot, hand movements, all of this. A Rashid in 2016 was the first youth teacher to really grace the big stage. You know what I mean? And he set it off and he kicked it off. And that was the beginning of consciousness for the youth on the stage, not in the audience, because I was in the audience. No, matter of fact, it wasn't. It was 2006. I'm sorry, not 16. 2006. A Rashid comes home. He writes 3 books. He's doing 10 years, right? 10 years for robbery. He writes 3 books behind the wall. We have people who are correctional officers who are also promoters who are basically bringing lectures to the community, right? I opened the productions. Black Dot was one of the promoters, and a brother who we call Christ, right? He was a promoter, but he was also a CO, right? From the hood. And he was able to get A Rashid's books into the hands of Dr. Phil Valentine. And Dr. Phil Valentine was blown away. And he was like, wow, this brother is deep. And Bobby read it. And Bobby, what? Man, they said when he comes home, he's going to open up for us. Now, what people might not realize is that before YouTube, to be on the stage at LIU was one of the biggest quote unquote accomplishments for a young black man, bigger than getting on an Apollo stage, bigger than being in Madison Square Garden. I shit you not. It's been a long time since then. So a lot of things have been lost in translation, but that was the biggest honor to open up for the master teachers. This is before YouTube. This is before, I think, Blog Talk, really. Yeah, Blog Talk came. We started our Blog Talk in 2009, January the 4th. No, January the 1st, I believe. No, January the 8th. No, Drew Ali's date. And AA came in 2006, right? He helped discover a few people. I ain't gonna say the names of them because them niggas is moist and they get upset when I say that A Rashid brought you niggas in. Niggas get upset. So I'm gonna just leave that to, whatever. You know what I mean? Fuck you niggas. And after AA, it was a few other people, and then me and Blue came in 2009, and it's been up ever since then. You know what I'm talking about? It's been up ever since then. But AA literally came home, got on that stage after doing 10 years and rocked that shit. He brought a new energy that the community didn't even know that they needed. But the elders was ready to, Phil Valentine was ready to retire. Bobby was ready to retire. They was asking for somebody to take their place. And around 2013, they started that process of shifting the ownership, or elders for council, youth for war. So they was like, yo, this YouTube shit is coming, this digital shit is coming. We don't know about this stuff. I remember they was telling us to stay away from the computer. They was telling us don't get on the internet. The computer internet is evil. That's what they were saying. So when they saw that we were more digital than anything, that we were part of a new dimension, they was like, y'all got it from here. And then we took it from there. So everybody has a beginning. There's beginnings to this shit. Nothing just came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? They took Panic's page. Yeah, Rise and Power to Panic, man. You know what I mean? Because Panic was featured prominently back in those days as well. I don't know if y'all listened heavily to what he talked about, but Panic was at war with us back in those days because Panic was Team Bobby and we was Team Phil. And if anybody don't know, Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett was at war with one another for many years until A Rashid did a lecture in 2013 and he brought them together. It might have been 2012. No, it was during the Obama run. It was 2008 or 9, I believe. A.A. Rashid brought them to LIU. But it was a war in Harlem / New York / in the conscious community between metaphysics and the occult. Nobody, I mean, I ain't gonna say that nobody talks about it because they do. Panic talks about it. Panic talks about it. He doesn't hide that. He didn't hide that truth that he couldn't stand niggas for, that there was animosity on both sides, over it wasn't a North versus South thing. Nah, it wasn't even like that. It was metaphysics versus occult. And then it turned to Moors versus RBG. So that's the whole thing. Moors was me. The Moors was like what we was doing. I see a few other people, I think Ali Muhammad and was standing on the Moor shit. And then Sanetta was RBG. And then he brought Sarah Sutton and a few other people into the fold. Natural Tahuti, who originally, Natural Tahuti was a customer. You know what I mean? Natural Tahuti was a customer. He wasn't a teacher. He was buying books from us. He was a customer and whatnot. And he got elevated into being a teacher by Sanetta before even going through, he got tested right there. You know what I mean? But he skipped the line. Let's just say that. He skipped the line. And he got put on. And he's doing 40 years right now. You feel me? He's doing 40 years in Pennsylvania. So shout out to that brother who brought the Black Woman is God to the community. But I think he got used as a pawn in this war that took place between the RBG and the Moors. It was a war of ideas and concepts, because if the Moors if the Moors won the war in Harlem, there would have been a Moorish takeover. And then that RBG shit kind of would have got just because it was given that around 2007 and 8 with the rise of Moorish information, that they were drowning out all of the older information. And because consciousness was a business back then, it was about the DVD business. Think Netflix, think Blockbusters. Think Netflix, think Blockbusters. It was a business, a multi-million-dollar business. And certain people's business was being threatened because if the ideology of the Moors was to take over, then all of that shit that you were selling, you couldn't sell it anymore. You couldn't pimp that no more. So that's where it was like, we got to go to war now. And the war, you saw the war with SETI versus Alim. That's the war. That was the war. That was the battle that was going to prove all the whole thing. But they set Alim up. They set him up. He didn't even know what he was walking into because he wasn't from New York. And like I said, you had to be in New York to understand the politics of everything that was going on in New York. If you from out of town coming into New York, it's like me going into LA, right? Trying to battle for the Bloods. Nigga, I'm coming from New York to LA to stand up for the Bloods when that's in their homeland, and that's how that was. You came to New York to represent for the Moors, but you got set up by the Moors because there was Moors that were scared to battle Sarah Sut and Seti. I'm not gonna say their names, but you should know who it is. They was petrified, and they was like, nah, let Alim do it. And it was like, nah, but Alim is not a debater. Alim is not qualified. He don't fight like that. He's not a fighter. You're putting him in a ring with a fucking pit bull. Seti was calling for the death of niggas, bro. And niggas was like ready to kill for him. This shit was real, bro. It was not no internet shit. It was up, bro. It was real beef at one point. So it was like, why would you set the Alim's teaching style? He's not a warrior scholar. He's not a warrior scholar. Stop putting, you can't put this man in front of this. This nigga's a warrior scholar. He's coming to kill something. So he got killed. He got bodied in the ring, and that was a sad day in consciousness. You know what I'm talking about? And nigga, I had to go to Miami for the weekend to just, I had to get in the water, my nigga, because that was, my wife was like, at that time, she was like, yeah, you got to get away because this shit is taking a toll on you. Because I was investing in it because it was war. It was war, you know? And that shit brought the RBG back into the front, and it brought charlatans into the mix, right? It strengthened the charlatans, and then the community got they got your lunch money taken, you got robbed, you got washed up, and you got everything that was, you got everything that happened to the community from that point on was kind of like, hands up. Like, what could we do? We tried to stop it. We tried our best, you know what I mean? And then fast forward, so this is 2009, and me and Sinetta don't talk, we don't rock, I don't fuck with them, we having wars in the streets and everything, but we have to work next to each other every day. Think about that. Think about that. So the four people who I could say, if you ever want to know anything about the conscious community, if these four is not talking about it, then nobody is talking about it. Red pill, blue pill, Nova Felder, Sutek. His name is Jack. Sutek, right? And Sinetta. Those are the five people that was in Harlem on 125th Street every fucking day. And blue pill wasn't there every day. Jack, everybody else is dead or may transition and whatnot. And then everybody else is just a co-star in that movie. You understand? You're just a co-star. You was not there. You wasn't there every day. You was not, your hands wasn't a part of the motherfucking pot. Your energy was not drawing people out there to do what was being done. That's not your energy. Okay? So we're going to nip that right in the bud. And me and Blue, we started doing the street interviews with other platforms, and was brought an element that nobody has matched to this fucking day. You know what I mean? So with Black Magic, we start doing the street interviews with him. If I could think, I don't know if he was doing street interviews with nobody else. Y'all gotta ask him, who was you popping with before you started tapping in with me and Blue, and we was taking you around New York City and doing these interviews on the train in Brooklyn and in the hood. He was in Brooklyn. He had his thing going on. But we took it to another level. And then Baba TV, shout out to Baba TV, who's from Syracuse, New York, who would come into New York City. He would come into New York, and we would do street interviews with him, and we would body that shit. And we would, because you could go back and look at any interview that I did with any one of them and tell me where I lied, or tell me where I was not right and exact, and what the fuck we were saying from day one. Day one. So let me just say this. We have a new platform because we took all our shit off the internet. And I dare one of these niggas to act stupid. Like, that's my shit. If I'm in a video, it's my shit. I got control of my imagery. It's my shit. Okay. So we went ahead and we built our own platform, our own broadcast network and whatnot, where we're getting paid. We learned about advertising, and we've been hipped to the business of commercials and all of these other things. Fuck that YouTube shit. There's no money in that. There's no real money in that. They're giving niggas peanuts and whatnot. So we learn about advertising, and it changed the game and whatnot. So we have, I'm going to drop the link right here. We are on a TV network right now that you can access on Roku and all of these. We're not making a big announcement, but this is I'm gonna hip y'all. I'm gonna just give y'all the heads up. We're gonna make the big announcement very soon, right? So we was at war with Sinetta, and Harlem niggas stick together. So we was at war with Sinetta and everybody else that came up under him, right? So we was at war with all of them, right? We had Blog Talk Radio. We had YouTube. You know what I mean? We was rocking out with AA. We brought you Ra Aku. We brought you Buddha Clinks. We brought you Dr. Sabi. We brought you AA Rashid. We brought you KT the Arch Degree. This is all through Know the Ledge when we was out there doing what we was doing. We brought you Brother Oba. We brought you Ross Ben. We brought you Dr. Delbert fucking Blair. Rise and power to him. We brought you Polite. Let's name some other people that Know the Ledge brought to the community. And this is and if I don't say it, nobody's gonna say it. If we don't give our own story out, nobody will give it out. We bought you 19 keys. Let's be clear. Okay. So we brought you the paradigm shifters. You know what I mean? Because to this day, none of them brought me into their community. They all came into our community. I haven't met nobody that they know. We brought you Sharif Bey. We bought you what's my dude? Will 777. Like we was literally on board. We was platforming the legends, bro. This is Know the Ledge Radio on Blog Talk Radio. When people didn't even know how we looked, they just heard the music. We brought you Destiny Grind, which is quote unquote smoke and grow rich, right? We brought you Noble and Pooh. Shout out to him. We brought you Chicago Crypto Block Bully. Like, what are we talking about? But y'all see them, this is who we brought. And this is all facts. If I'm capping, somebody say something. If I'm capping, I don't gotta cap. I'm giving you the truth. Like I'm just giving you the truth, the way that it is. Other people would try to change it, but I'm literally giving you the truth. You feel me? And thankfully, we got people in the building who've been down and they not disillusioned, but they know what yeah, Human. Shout out to Human. We brought you Human. We brought you Lizzie Jeff, right? I don't even get thank yous from certain people when we help expand networks. You know what I'm talking about? We brought you Ra Omar. I don't even get a thank you, bro. We brought you Survey, Source Guard. We brought you Al Kibalon. So what are we talking about? Like, so we're really the twin pillars on the portico, right? How masonry is set up. You got the twin pillars and then you got the arch degree. What is our purpose? Our purpose as the Abegis is to bring the light through. We are here to serve. We are here to platform people. We are here to bring you. No, you said with shifters. No, everybody, all of them. Everybody got a bigger look with the shifters. RZA, his profile increased. Ben, brother Ben X, Derek Grace, sister Ajna, Pop Darby, billionaire PA. Everybody's when we came together, we was like, yo, this is why we doing it. Cause we gonna blow this shit the fuck up. Literally, that's after I stopped fucking with Conscious Community 1.0. That's when I broke away from Sinetta and everything, and I broke away from that Harlem shit. And what the paradigm shifters is, that's the new. These are people from Instagram and Facebook. They were not tied into the conscious Harlem shit in any way. They didn't have no ties to none of that shit. You feel me? None of it. You know. And shout out to all of them. So there's more people. I'm just, sometimes it escapes because I gotta write it out. But this is what Know the Ledge has to offer to our community, whether you know it or not, because most of my work is done behind the camera. You know what I mean? I don't do work and then get in front of the camera to brag about it. We put things together. Yeah, Dr. B introduced him to Brother Rich. Feel me? It took months. It was a lot of work. You know what I mean? Mama Pill, Rosmariah Bay. Yeah, shout out to Charles Hamilton. That was a dope interview. You know, that was a dope interview. The way that happened, it was like, whoa, you know. Shout out to him. I hope he is in a better place right now. I hope we was able to cut some of the ties that he had on him because he was under deep, uh, deep. You said that you brought everybody except Billy. We brought Delbert Blair. It doesn't matter about. No, we brought Delbert Blair. That's like saying we bring the originals, right? Delbert Blair comes before Billy Carson. You understand? Delbert Blair comes before Billy Carson. So we brought you Delbert, the master teacher. Let's be fucking clear. We asked Billy Carson if he knew Delbert Blair. He said no. He said no. Come on. What are we talking about? This nigga said no. You don't know Delbert Blair? Word? Okay. Professor Griff. You know what I mean? Professor Griff. I think Professor Griff might yeah, we had an interview with Dr. Francis Cress on Blog Talk. That was powerful. That was powerful. That was powerful. So anybody coming into this community and you don't admonish the master teachers and whatnot, and you're not bigging up the master teachers and you're acting like you just came out of nowhere, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't know what the fuck your purpose is, because what are we doing? Like, I'll never come into no community and act like I don't know who the master teachers are. That's cap, nigga. Fuck out of here with that. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. But shout out to Dr. Delbert Blair, who Polite had a hand in his demise. Polite was one of the reasons why Dr. Delbert Blair is not here. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Shout out to Dr. Delbert Blair. He got stranded in New York after a Polite lecture, and he basically started spiraling from that point in his health. You know what I mean? And Polite was involved in that. All of the promoters who brought Dr. Delbert Blair to New York and left them stranded, and he made transition shortly after that. And they don't like talking about that. But when y'all see King Simon, ask him about that story. You feel me? Ask him about that story about when niggas shitted on Dr. Delbert Blair, had Dr. Delbert Blair calling up my phone asking me for help. You feel me? Asking me for help because he got shitted on by this whole ass nigga and his family and his community. And he came out here trusting him. Yeah. Ask him about that. He had fucking gout. He had all kind of health issues, and they left him stranded. Brought you Ross Ben. Shout out to Ross Ben. Brought you Ross Ben. Okay. And this is before 2012. Most of these people that I'm talking about, this is before 2012. Before everybody was in student and study mode and whatnot. You know? So it's a lot of shit that doesn't get talked about, because where are you going to talk about it at? Where are you going to talk about it? You talk about where's they arguing on 125th Street. They still debating over dumb shit. You can't have conversations out there. It's super toxic. You can't reflect anywhere. Where you gonna reflect that? And they clogging up the airways with fake niggas. Where you gonna have a conversation about reflection and refinement and going back into the annals of history? Where? When they it's a bunch of red herrings. People are distracting you with a bunch of fuck shit and fakeness. They don't want to have real convos. Anybody that disrespected, not just Pharaoh, anybody that disrespected the elders and the forefathers fell. Anybody. You don't fuck with Bobby. Bobby got a whole bunch of niggas under his belt that try to play him. You don't fuck with Bobby, bro. That should be a t-shirt. Don't fuck with Bobby. Whoever's working with Bobby is smacking you niggas, stepping on niggas. You dig? They fell hard. They fell hard. So my altar is, I got some ancestors on the altar. I call it the pantheon of ancestors. And you know, they know what's going on. They see everything. They see everything. You can't wild out too much in front of that, man, in front of these pantheon of ancestors, the spirit realm. You can't really wild out like that and then think that you are going to be on the front lines of leading the people. It's not working like that. We have spiritual assurance. If we don't have anything in this community, we got some spiritual assurance. The link is in the bio for class tonight. I look forward to seeing y'all. You know, I'm going crazy tonight. Class number 4. Melon, this is American Gods. Class number 4, American Gods at War, right? The Gods at War. You feel me? And if we gonna have to battle rap you niggas, then get your bars up, cause I'm ready to cook a nigga like Kendrick cooked Drake. Don't talk crazy. You know what I mean? Do me a favor. Talk crazy, cause I'm gonna cook you. You know what I'm talking about? And then we gonna box. Then I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna go in your face. I'm gonna go right in your mouth. So talk crazy. You know what I'm talking about? How's the hair journey going? It's cool. It's cool. I might cut this shit though. You know what I'm talking about? Might cut it. If I don't lock it, I'm gonna cut it and then grow it back again. So yeah, man. Yeah, that part. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all stay dangerous. Y'all stay up. Go and tap into our streaming platform. That's the shit right there. That's the biggest flex that I got right now, is that we got our own streaming platform and we're being seen by millions of people now. And I got different TV channels picking up Red and Blue Pill, KTL Plus, and whatnot. People around the world are being introduced to us through their TVs, not just YouTube, but through their TVs and through different networks. And I'm looking for we're gonna be looking for advertisers soon. We're gonna put y'all in front of millions of people, and we'll let you know when that is ready. But connecttoyourcity.com is the channel. It's free. You could put it on your TV screen. You could put it on your 100-inch. It's 24 hours of Red and Blue Pill. I gave you the history lesson. I'm giving y'all some insight about who we are, where we come from, and what we've done. I'm gonna let the information speak. It's 24 hours of videos of Red and Blue. Go and check it out so you could get familiar with the archive. So whatever YouTube took from us, we gained it. And fuck YouTube. You know what I mean? Because they don't even deserve my archives. They did me a favor. This shit is too saucy for YouTube as it is. We're on broadcast television now. You said, where is it at? I just dropped the link. Go and click on it. It's for real, for real. We outside. We got our own channel now. We have our own network. We are going to be opened up for advertising very soon. We're going to give small businesses, big businesses, even corporate businesses the opportunity to advertise with us. I'm going to the Jazz Fest today. I'm walking up to every single business that has a tent or a business, or I'm giving them this card right here. my QR. This is my album right here. You could basically access everything through the QR code, augmented reality, and I'm gonna sign them up, and we'll have Zoom meetings with them, and we'll see if we could do business with these brothers and sisters. But it's time to take this shit to another level. It's bigger than YouTube. It's bigger than IG. It's bigger than Meta. It's bigger than any of these small hat owned platforms. I say burn them to the ground, F them all. It's time to evolve, right? Same way that we evolved, we brought evolution to this community through the technology. Same way that we jumped from Facebook, then we went into YouTube, and then we went into Blog Talk, and then we came back to YouTube, and then we went into other realms, IG, TikTok, all of that. Now it's time to move up the ladder to something more divine. That part, you know what I mean? And that's where we at right here with our network. And yes, it is called KTL Plus. That is the network, KTL Plus. If you scroll down on connect to your city, you're gonna see KTL Plus. That is our channel. 24 hours programming. 24 hours programming. And we got a radio station coming. Look out for that. And we will also be offering other platforms the opportunity to have their channel on our channel, or their content for that matter. We'll give you about 2 hours to get your shit off and whatnot. And based off of the feedback, we'll be able to offer you your own channel, because it's time. Them pennies that YouTube was throwing, watch us body that shit and shame these niggas for playing in our face all of these years. Watch we body this shit, bro. We gonna show you them little peanuts ain't nothing. We stunting on these niggas. It's stunting season. It's hot outside. It's time to stunt on these niggas. Pressure all summer. Pressure all summer. We ain't letting up. Pressure all summer. Y'all gonna pay for what y'all did to the Cold Crush brothers. Y'all gonna pay for what y'all did to Dr. Delbert Blair. Y'all gonna pay for what y'all did to Sabi's legacy. Y'all just gonna pay. It's that time. You know what I'm talking about? It's what the ancestors have called for. So let's do it, and let's do it the right way. All right. I'll see y'all in class tonight. Love and light to everybody in the building. This is Sacrilegious Sundays featuring the one and only Rich Phil. Peace, love, and light. Peace.